Hello everyone, how are you doing? It's been a while. I did not make any video, and there are a lot of updates. So many new vegetables, new additions happening in my garden, and I would like to give you the tour of the backyard. I will start with berry plants first. So these are the blueberry plants we have grown a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, I believe. They are doing okay so far, and the small plants already showed some new growth. You see the light color leaves are grown after it is planted, and if you see that keenly, you see some small little bird kind of development, and that is growing as a new leaves. So this one already had a new growth, and no doubt it will grow. This one is little slow compared to the other one, but I still see the new growth. Maybe in a week or so all these buds will grow into a new leaves. And the third one, this is the best one actually. So the light color leaves you see are the new growth already. This is doing great. And the last one, southern blueberry, did not grow any new leaves after it is planted here. Not at all. No, I don't see any growth so far. So I'll see one more week, and if it is still doing the same way, I'll be adding some sulfur. Maybe the soil is not as acidic as it required. So I'm observing the growth and analyzing what's going on with them. So that's what I wanted to do for this one only. Then this side we have sowed some peanuts. See, these are started germinating. The peanuts, they grow in ground. Peanuts develop in a ground, and they are just a week old peanut sprouts. So this whole bed is having peanuts, and some of them already germinated, and I'm still waiting for the others to grow. In the pots, these are some kale, I believe, the curl kale germinated, and I have sowed the same seeds in indoors, and they are already 3-4 inches long. They are growing well in indoors. This is papaya, and I have replanted them, some of them, and they are not just growing so fast, but very slow. I have some spinach, some garlic, potatoes, and this is interesting. So I sowed some strawberry seeds from the strawberries I bought from store. It's been a month, so these are now slowly growing, and so when these are maybe 3-4 inches long, I'll be replanting them. But I'm very happy to see they are already germinated, and a lot of them. So this one is a carrot. I'll be replanting them soon, and I'll be leaving the strawberries in this until they grow and ready to replant. That's potato, and that is garlic. I've sowed some Malabar spinach in this one. The seeds are, looks like I got wrong seeds. They posted me the spinach seeds instead of Malabar spinach. Here we have some carrots, some tomatoes, green chili, Swiss chard, and this is the second pineapple I have grown yesterday from the store bought. I've seen roots, healthy roots at the bottom, and I just planted this. The other one is doing okay. I'll show you that in a minute. And one more tomato. So these are the cluster beans, a famous Indian vegetable. You can see them small. See that? This is a baby cluster bean and very tasty vegetable when you grow with garlic. Sorry, you cook with garlic, stir fry. The flowers, very tasty and expensive vegetable. So this whole bed is cluster beans, and this side also some. And coming back, here is one potato plant growing. It's doing okay. And here is the tomatoes bed. This plant is having the leaves kind of wilted. It's been like that since it is a small plant, but it is producing the tomatoes, and look at the shape. It is having some curl at the bottom. I now see the tomatoes in this shape. I thought it got some disease at the beginning, but as it is started growing the tomatoes, I did not remove the plant, and it's not spreading to the plants beside to that. And here is the other one. You see a lot of foliage, but you can also see the tomatoes growing. I have pruned some of the branches, leaves. So here is another cluster, tomato cluster. I did not harvest any of them until now. Nothing is ripened. It's still developing and growing the plant. Here is another cluster. And another one. This looks similar to the other plant I showed you. The leaves are looking okay, not curled at all. Look at the fruits. It's developing a lot of fruits. Here is a big bunch. And here is the other one. I'm waiting for them to become red and harvest. Here is the other plant. So this is the best one actually. So I have pruned it properly. I was able to look at the tomatoes. I am giving fish fertilizer every 3 weeks, and that's it. Removing the weeds, pruning whenever is required, and watering them every day. Or if it is okay, then watering them every other day, like that. Other than that, I did not do anything. They are doing great with a little care. And the beautiful part is rich gourd. These are the 3 plants you remember I showed you. After a week of they germinated, and now they started producing the vegetable. You see the fruits and the flowers, they are very big and healthy. You can look at the leaves also, they are healthy, disease free, doing great. The ants did the pollination, and I tried to pollinate them this time, but due to the winds we had from last couple of weeks, all the pollen on the male flowers are gone. So when I touch the flower, I don't see any pollen left to pollinate. So I was sad, but luckily I'm able to see the matured vegetables growing. So far I see 5 of them. I see some baby rich gourds also. I did not pollinate them either. I'm happy with this bed so far. And this is the basil just beside to the tomato, and rich gourd. The other one is bitter gourd. This got some disease. I see some sticky little insects at the bottom of each plant. Sorry, each leaf. Look at that. I usually hose these kind of insects, but they're everywhere and very thick. The leaves are just little curled, and plant is kind of sick. So I have removed all of the leaves because I did not think that it's going to go with the water. So you see the empty stem without any leaves. I just throw them in the trash, and it looks okay now. I don't care about the bottom leaves, but it should be pest free. So I have seen one baby bitter gourd. Look at that. And this side the rosemary, one cauliflower, and mint. I prepared one mint bed in my front yard, just beside to the kitchen window. I will show you that also. Here we have one okra and some green leaf vegetables growing. This is another cluster bean. It's very interesting, tasty, expensive vegetable. You can't eat that raw, you have to cook it. It's very, very tasty, and most of the Indians know that and taste it. This is the green chili, green hot pepper variety. They're growing very, very slow. This may be more than 2 months old plant. I had that in the pot from the apartment. It's now developing fruits and buds, but no fruits. I have 3 of them nearby. And these are the radishes. See, half of the radish is outside the ground because the soil is not loosened like the potting mix we buy in the stores. So as the radish grow, it is just pushing out, and I'll be harvesting them soon in a couple of days. Here is some mesta and other green leaves. From the long shot, this is how it looks like. The tomatoes, look at the beautiful tomatoes, cluster beans, rich gourd, and this is the bed this side. And this side, look at the corn. They started developing. I have sowed some of them here and just beside the other side, but they are not doing great. I don't know. It gets some sun from our neighbor, and it's not doing that great. Zucchini, tomato. This is a cauliflower I have replanted yesterday. Look at the tomato plant with the flowers. So what I'm doing is when we have a wind, some of the tomato stems are broken, and sometimes I prune them, which I feel that not necessary, and I'm just cutting the bottom and just putting it in the water in a glass, and it's developing roots in a couple of weeks. So this is that plant, propagated from another tomato plant. I have 3 of them so far. This is the beans, pole beans variety. Look at the beans developing. They grow few inches, and you see the seeds, big seeds inside. This is another Indian bean variety. Zucchini plant, chili, eggplant, another basil, and some more beans plants. This is the tomato plant, grow from seed. So I usually use the water when I cut the vegetables. I wash the chopboard, and the water I used to clean the vegetables, right? I just use that water, and the seeds coming with that water is developing the tomato plants everywhere. I don't really have to plant the tomatoes especially. Here is the purslane. I got the seeds from Amazon, sowed some. Just very few of them got germinated, and I'm sure they will spread in the yard without much effort. This is the pineapple. We have planted it a month ago, and I believe the root system is now getting developed. Soon I believe that we will see the growth outside. Some new leaves would be developing soon. Cauliflower. Many plants got damaged due to the wind happening from a couple of weeks. These are some green vegetables, leaf vegetables. Beside it's a coriander. You can see the fruits, flowers. I have actually sowed these for the purpose of getting coriander for garnishing and the flavor, but they are just go bolt after growing couple of weeks or so. Some more coriander, couple of cauliflower, spinach, again some Swiss chard, cauliflower. Here you see the curl kale. I have sowed them indoors. Last night I have replanted 2 and I left 4 of them indoor. I get nice sunlight from the kitchen window, and I wanted to see how it grows indoors, because I usually use kale for the smoothies and I want them grow without any pollution and anything like that. So I have 3 outdoors and 4 indoor. This is the other one. Some carrots again, tomato. This is again propagated from the stem. Some spinach and coriander in the middle. Spinach is growing fine. I will be harvesting some tonight. Cauliflower and the tomato propagated from branch. See, these are the moong dal, also called as green gram. And this is broccoli. I have 3-4 plants growing, but as you see the holes, these are actually affected by cutworms, and the worms are really small and thin. As you see the holes, you can understand how small this is. So look at the small dot. This is probably the egg or the small cutworm before it grow, and it's making a very small holes and eating up all the leaf. I'm just observing every day and just hosing, just taking out by killing it. Look at the marks, and I believe these are the eggs or some cutworms, baby cutworms. Because of the wind, so many plants fell down. This is another kale, some green gram, broccoli, and this is a potato. I'm not taking care of this potato, and this got affected by cutworms also. Another broccoli, some mesta greens, zucchini, beans. See, I have 3 plants growing here, and some are in the other yard. I have harvested some of the beans yesterday. and some are growing. These are the cucumbers. As I told you, this is Indian cucumber variety, and it is hard, round shape, yellow color. I love this vegetable when I cook. And these are all the male flowers growing so far, and I was wondering when it is going to produce, but surprisingly this morning I have seen one female flower. See, look at the bulb. This is the cucumber. I believe this will mature properly. So far I have seen only one female flower. All are male flowers. They are blooming since long time, and I have been waiting for the female flowers to grow. This is the old zucchini plant. This is still producing. I have harvested one couple of days ago. And this is the old ridgecoat plant we have. As I told you, see, I thought of removing it few weeks ago, and all of a sudden it started producing. So I just left it to see if it can produce more. And this is bitter gourd. I have harvested 3-4 bitter gourds yesterday, and it is still producing some flowers. So probably a month from now I will leave it and I will remove it. Anyway, I am not getting any sunlight here, so I have no plans to growing anything. I just leave the vine like that until it stops producing. This is cauliflower again, and look at the damage the cutworms are making. Looks like they like the brassicas, mostly making the damage on cauliflower, broccoli, potato. These are the affected by small, very little cutworms. But tomatoes got affected by a big worms. They are like 3-4 inches big, long, green color or gray color. So these two getting a good sunlight. That's the reason they are growing good, and all these other plants also grown in the same time. Look at them, they got affected by cutworms and not growing at all because they are not getting any sunlight. You remember this side of the bed got some mesta, some tomatoes and other fenugreek growing. Now it's not getting sunlight at all. So I'm not planting anything and just removed. This is the tomato plant which is not doing great, but you see it's loaded with fruits. I am waiting for them to mature and then I'll just get rid of this plant. I have pruned it to encourage it to grow well, but after that it did not produce any leaves or stems. So here you can see the fertilizers I usually use. This is the best one, fish fertilizer with 511. I'm using this for all the vegetables, fruits and everything I have in the ad. And this is the neem oil I am using for the cutworms. And here is another moringa one. This is doing great. As I told you, this side of the yard is not getting any sunlight, but as this is already grown almost 4 feet, the top stems are still getting some sunlight and it's doing okay. The bottom part is getting yellow, but that is okay. The top part is getting sunlight. So the other one is here at this pot, and it was very small and not getting the sunlight at all, so I feared of losing it. That's the reason I moved to the different place just beside to the pineapple, and it's doing okay. This is the continuation of the same side. So I had these tomatoes already grow up and I did not move them because of the fear of losing them. You can still see a lot of tomatoes. Look at them. And it was broken for the wind, but it's still doing great, and I'm waiting for them to ripe. So I'll harvest and remove the whole plant. Here we have total 3 tomato plants. See, this is the grape tomato variety. I expected this to produce a lot of them, but it is not really because it's not getting sunlight at all. And these got affected by powdery mildew, see, because of the lacking of sunlight, and I'm just pruning the leaves as it gets the powdery mildew. And here is the radish bed which was destroyed by gophers. One still remaining, and some, maybe a couple of them I have harvested, and remaining all of them eaten by gophers. Here are some garlic growing. And look at the radishes, looks like it's the shape, it's crusted by the soil. Just pressed 2 sides and now the shape is funny. This side is not getting sunlight at all, but as I sow them, I just leave them alone. And radishes, they are doing great. Sorry, carrots. These are short and sweet carrots variety. Doing great so far. That is it, friends. This is the backyard, and this side is almost getting removed after the harvest. By next year I'll get some sunlight and plan to have more vegetables. In the front yard I have some vegetables growing. I will give you the tour later on that. Thank you. Have a good day.